Hey everyone, welcome to the channel where we love to talk about movies. Welcome especially if you're new. If you enjoy talking about movies and staying up to speed on what's in theaters and what's worth checking out, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a review. Alright, with that, let's get into today's review, which is for Call Jane. So in this movie, a married woman with an unwanted pregnancy lives in a time in America where she can't get a legal abortion and works with a group of suburban women to find help. So I'll keep this spoiler free. I'm just going to talk to kind of 5 points about the film that I liked, and then I'll kind of wrap things up with my letter grade at the end. So the first thing I liked about the film in general were the characters. So a lot of these bullet points are individual characters, and the first one that I liked was the husband, and I thought that yeah, he had some growing to do as a character over the course of the film, but I thought he felt like a very real character. Like he has his strengths, he has his weaknesses, and we see both of those throughout the film. And I feel like I was surprised and delighted to get that because I think it would have been very easy to set up a character in his shoes who we just more so see his weaknesses and somebody who's there not supporting his wife and yeah, like we didn't get that. I thought that we got something a little bit more gray and three dimensional, and I really liked that about him. The second one is the daughter. I think her name is Charlotte, and there again, like you could have gone away where the daughter was like very supportive of what the mom was doing and or of what Joy was doing, and having like it could have been done in a way where you had like, oh, women have to stick together and beating you over the head with feminism. But like she's just a 15-year-old girl at the end of the day, and she's really not all that interested in everything that her mom is doing. And yeah, there again, I thought that she just felt like a real character and how a 15-year-old would act in that situation. Next up, we have Joy. I thought she was a good main character. I found her interesting, and yeah, like this kind of flows through all the characters. What I liked about them, it's very much a movie about feminism, but it doesn't. I didn't feel like it was beating me over the head with it, and I think a lot of times when movies are have such a message of feminism, they do so by propping up the women and tearing down the men, and I don't think that needs to happen, and for you to still have a movie whose message is feminism. And I think this is a perfect example of that because there isn't this gap between the characters. So even like yeah, for her as a character, I think you definitely get to see her side of the story, but she's also not painted as necessarily the perfect character. I think she's painted in the best light of the characters that we see, but there again, she's still human, and she's not perfect. So the fourth character that I wanted to talk to was Virginia, who's played by Sigourney Weaver, and yeah, I thought she had kind of an interesting take on things. She's very practical, which I think makes her come across as kind of cold at times. Yet she's still filling like a very important role in the group that they have, which I thought was kind of an interesting mixture in her character, but. I don't know. I thought like Sigourney Weaver was good in the role, but I think it was not necessarily the most demanding role, and she didn't stand out all that much for her acting. But I mean, that's just because she's always good at this point. But the role didn't overly demand from her. But and then the last thing that kind of stood out to me was, and this might be put in context. I saw this basically right after seeing Till, and that was just such an emotional film. So like things are always relative. Movies hit you different ways depending on when you see them. But I felt like this film just had kind of not as much of an emotional, like it didn't evoke as much of my emotions as I was kind of hoping or thought it would going into it, given what I understood about the subject matter and the story. But there again, maybe I was just kind of emotionally drained from Till and didn't have all that much left to give. But I felt like it didn't have me as fully invested in and connected with the characters as I would have liked, even though I recognize like the importance of the story it was telling and was very thankful to, learn about this. And so it was kind of a mixture there of like, well, I want to like this and I'm glad to hear this story, but I also don't necessarily feel the most connected to these characters. So that was kind of like a minor ding on the film, or minor critique there. But those are 5 things that kind of stood out to me about the film. Overall, there again, kind of on that last point, I bounced between an A and a B on this. I'm gonna land in the B category though, mainly because I think something needs to be clearly in a category, especially moving up. If I put it there, so much of me I think wanted to put it in A because I think it is telling a very important story, and it's yeah, I liked a lot of things about it, but I think it didn't just like fully come together to get into the A category for me to give it to say this is a great movie. Especially again, it's I think it had the downfall of coming right after Till for how I saw, or when I saw it, and having that to compare. So like the music certainly wasn't as good. I wasn't as connected with the characters, and just all of that. I think it added up enough for it to be good. Like I still recommend it as a movie. It's yeah, a B is still a good score, but it didn't quite make the jump to the next tier. So I'd say it's actually a B plus. Well, no, B plus is like things that are kind of lower. I think it's upper B tier. Like objectively, that's where it stands, and then subjectively, that's where I liked it. B plus is things that are objectively lower, but I significantly liked them more. So this is, yeah, solid B. I think it's worth checking out if you're looking for something to see. Not necessarily the best thing this weekend, but that's because Till was just that good. But yeah, overall though, those are my thoughts. If you've had a chance to see the film, I'd love to hear your comments down below. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to smash that like and subscribe button. And with that, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.